Trump's Georgia RICO case significant new development. March 13, 2024. Judge McAfee dismisses some Trump Georgia election subversion charges but leaves most of the case intact. Hello and welcome back to the News Media Hands channel. We have important developments to share with you regarding Trump's Georgia RICO case. As always, we value your comments and feedback, and we count on your subscription to grow the channel. Thank you for your support, and let's get started. In a significant development in the legal saga surrounding the 2020 presidential election, Georgia Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee has made a significant ruling in the criminal case against former President Donald Trump and several of his associates. The judge's decision, which came after careful consideration, involves the dismissal of certain charges while leaving the bulk of the indictment untouched. The judge left other charges intact and wrote that prosecutors could seek a new indictment on the charges he dismissed. The ruling, delivered on Wednesday, March 13, 2024, represents a mixed outcome for both the prosecution and the defense. McAfee's decision to throw out 6 charges related to the solicitation or violation of oath by a public officer is a setback for the prosecution, as it reduces the total number of charges against Trump and some of his co-defendants. However, the judge's ruling does not dismantle the core of the case, as the majority of the sprawling racketeering indictment remains intact. The crux of McAfee's decision lies in the lack of specificity regarding the alleged conduct underlying the dismissed charges. While acknowledging that the state has alleged an abundance of conduct by the defendants, McAfee emphasized the importance of sufficient detail concerning essential legal elements. The dismissed charges failed to provide adequate information about the nature of the commission, leaving the defendants without enough information to prepare their defenses intelligently. The 6 counts are as follows. Count 2 alleges that multiple defendants solicited elected members of the Georgia Senate to violate their oaths of office on December 3, 2020, by requesting or importuning them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. Count 5 alleges that defendant Trump solicited the Speaker of the Georgia House of Representatives to violate his oath of office on December 7, 2020, by requesting or importuning him to call a special session to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. Count 6 alleges that defendants Smith and Giuliani solicited members of the Georgia House of Representatives to violate their oaths of office on December 10, 2020, by requesting or importuning them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. Count 23 alleges that multiple defendants solicited elected members of the Georgia Senate to violate their oaths of office on December 30, 2020, by requesting or importuning them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. Count 28 alleges that defendants Trump and Meadows solicited the Georgia Secretary of State to violate his oath of office on January 2, 2021, by requesting or importuning him to unlawfully influence the certified election returns, and Count 38 alleges that defendant Trump solicited the Georgia Secretary of State to violate his oath of office on September 17, 2021, by requesting or importuning him to unlawfully decertify the election. As written, these 6 counts contain all the essential elements of the crimes but fail to allege sufficient detail regarding the nature of their commission, i.e., the underlying felony solicited. Kimbrough, 300 Georgia at 884. They do not give the defendants enough information to prepare their defenses intelligently, as the defendants could have violated the constitutions and thus the statute in dozens, if not hundreds, of distinct ways, McAfee wrote. A naked charge of solicitation cannot survive unless accompanied by additional elements establishing the solicited felony. McAfee argued that prosecutors failed to explain the exact terms of the oaths violated by some of Trump's co-defendants. Jonathan Turley, a conservative law professor, said on Fox News that, "The judge is absolutely right in that respect. I mean, it was one of the objections many of us have made to the indictment is that it's very loosely held together. I think it was a poorly crafted indictment. That doesn't mean that they can't come back and try to revive those counts. But that's going to cause a delay." He further mentioned that this thin case against Trump in Georgia just got thinner. Despite the dismissal of these charges, McAfee made it clear that the conduct underlying the solicitation charges could still be relied upon by prosecutors as part of the larger racketeering charge. This aspect of the ruling underscores the complexity of the case and its potential implications for both sides. Legal analysts have weighed in on the significance of McAfee's decision. CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Honig characterized the ruling as an unforced error by prosecutors and an undeniable setback. While acknowledging that most of the charges remain intact, Honig noted that the judge's decision to throw out 6 charges for being legally defective is significant. Similarly, former U.S. Attorney Michael Moore suggested that McAfee's action might indicate a delay in the trial proceedings, further complicating the legal landscape for both parties. On the other hand, the defense hailed McAfee's decision as the correct legal outcome. Steve Sadow, The lead defense lawyer for former President Trump in the Georgia election subversion case has said that McAfee made the correct legal decision. Sadow has stated that counts dismissed against Trump include 5, 28, and 38, which falsely accused him of soliciting Georgia public officials to violate their oath of office. Sadow further added that the ruling is a correct application of the law, as the prosecution failed to make specific allegations of any alleged wrongdoing on those counts. He believes that the entire prosecution of President Trump is political, constitutes election interference, and should be dismissed. Jeff DeSantis, a spokesman for the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, said that the ruling is being reviewed. While McAfee's ruling represents a notable development in the case, it does not address the ethics allegations brought against Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis by the defendants. McAfee has pledged to issue a ruling on that issue separately, indicating that there are still many twists and turns to come in this high-profile legal battle. In conclusion, Judge McAfee's decision to dismiss some charges in the Georgia election subversion case while leaving most of the indictment intact marks a significant development in the ongoing legal saga surrounding the 2020 presidential election. The ruling sets the stage for further legal proceedings and underscores the complexity and contentiousness of the case. Let us know what you think about this development. Is this case against Trump in Georgia really thin? Thanks for watching. If you like it, comment and hit the like and share buttons. Subscribe for future videos.